Hello and welcome to another breakdown video. This one's going to be a really fucking cool one. I'm super excited for this as this is one thing that has just really come up a lot in the conversations I've been having with a lot of guys lately is they are very, very focused on thinking that they need to revolutionize their diet to actually make significant change in the gym. And I'm here in this video to convince you otherwise, that you are in denial with how hard you're training. Because you never hear any athlete talk about their diet when they lose. They're not like, after that run or in that gym session or whatever it was, it's like, damn, I should have eaten that broccoli and that boiled chicken. That would have made all the difference to the result or my physique or whatever it may be. Because diet isn't what cost them the win. Their preparation, execution in the gym, the intent that they did with training is everything. And this applies to lifters. If you're training soft, no fucking amount of chicken, rice, broccoli is going to save you. Most common responses I get as to why I don't look like I train. It's 100% my diet. Wrong. It's always your training. Your training is the stimulation that supports your food supports food working. There is no ideal training intention or intensity. There is no amount of food that you can eat or type of food that you can eat that is going to put on muscle mass. There can be no growth for your diet to build muscle if the stimulation, aka lifting weights, isn't hard enough. There, it's written right in front of you. We need to be training hard to be building muscle first. Okay, so then what builds it if it isn't diet? Zoom this guy out. A lot to sort of unpack here. This pyramid here, you might think, oh, the top, this is the most important part, frequency. This is why you see guys training chest like 6 times a week. Incorrect. It is progressive overload, aka lifting heavier weights each week. We get maximum fiber recruitment by lifting heavier loads closer to failure. This is imperative. Your weights must be going up, not every single week if you're more advanced, but at least every month. If that is not happening, you are simply not growing. You couple that with training close to failure, aka mechanical tension is the scientific term for it, you are going to fucking grow. Now, this is hard. You have to be training really hard with heavy loads, and especially if you're trained like 3 to 5 years in, this is where all guys quit, is you go, fuck, this is really hard. Yeah, it is. So when you see guys walking around who are bigger than you, yes, they're possibly taking steroids, like myself, but they are training fucking hard, really hard. You'll hear me growling, grunting, saying fuck you to the weight and pushing my limits to get these progressions. Because those progressions are everything. It allows me to build the muscle mass. And here's the supporting data from 2 absolute weapons of doctors. Brad Schoenfeld, absolute just hypertrophy king as far as science-based doing studies and stuff to work out exactly how this stuff works. He states, progressive overload, proximity to failure, and training volume are primary drivers of hypertrophy. And to back him up, Milo Wolf, these guys are both on YouTube, so check them out. Hypertrophy doesn't care about your split as much as effort load and movement quality. When was the last time your weights went up? Ask yourself that. So it's all simplified here. Mechanical tension is lifting loads through full range, close to failure. That's what it's missing there. Metabolic stress is sort of like the pump. It does have some sort of accumulation of hypertrophy to it, but the main one here is mechanical tension. Muscle damage has been debunked. That used to be the whole thing of like, oh, I'm creating micro tears and it's being healed by food. It's just not the case. It's all about the sort of the fiber recruitment and recovering with that way. But yeah, the biggest driver of all these is intensity and progression over time. Over time, time being the key word. Okay, so why aren't I big? Most of you are training 4 to 5 days a week, but you haven't logged a lift in 6 months, or you don't even fucking follow a program. Your bench max hasn't moved in years. Remember that time where you hit 100 kilos and you're like, hell yeah, fuck. Imagine if I get, I'm going to go for 3 plates, and then it's just week after week of maxing out at 100 and getting squished under the bar and having some guy, bigger guy than you, come over, and you have some excuse like, oh, it was just because of I didn't eat enough or whatever it may be. It's like, no, it's because you don't have any muscle and you're not strong enough because you don't know how to fucking train hard. You stop when you get a pump, never reaching failure. All those cable flies, all those rows, all those lat pull downs that just constantly like this, the whole set, and you're like, whoo, did 4 sets of that, I feel massive, but none of them were actually effective. They did nothing. You may as well have just sat at home jerking yourself and sucking on your vape like you do every other time, rather than come in and wasted time in the gym. You're more worried about what you should be eating than hitting the gym with intent. No food, different, doesn't matter. You can eat fucking Maccas or whatever it may be. No change in that is going to grow you if you do not train hard. Here's a little example here. So you're the Lambo, which is still a nice mid physique. This is your diet, the fuel. If you want to power this Lambo, you need to be training hard. If you're only just filling the tank, but your output's weak like a Camry, this isn't going to be a Lambo. You're not going to build a Lambo physique. It's just going to be a fucking Camry, week in, week out. A grey, no sort of jackness Camry. Camry's plain. You don't want to be plain. So when does diet actually matter? That's where we want to get to now. Diet matters when you're training hard, when your logbook is progressing week to week, when you're pushing failure or very close consistently. That's where you want to be flirting. That 0 on some of your smaller movements, just say like arms and very quick recovering smaller muscle groups, absolutely go to failure. Push yourself to that fucking limit that you've got, force some extra reps out. On your bigger movements, anywhere between sort of like 1 to 3 is going to be a fantastic place to be. And don't think that leaving 3 reps in the tank is easy. If you want to check out what 3RR looks like, have a look at my other YouTube videos of myself and my wife training. We train very fucking hard. Now, you might go, oh yeah, I train that hard. Absolutely, you do not. Because I put my whole fucking life on hold to train that hard. When you've been pushing hard but not recovering, this is a perfect opportunity to look at your food because, if you're going really hard and your joints are really sore and your sleep's fucked, your aggro and all these different things, definitely a time to have a look at the food because that's a good indication that you're training really hard but you're just not fueling yourself correctly. Only then do you have a look at tracking protein. Easy metric to follow is 2 times your body weight. Doesn't matter if you're cutting, doesn't matter if you're building, 2 times your body weight is a great place to be, especially because you're well trained at 3 to 5 years time. A slight surplus calories to build tissue. You can build tissue on maintenance, absolutely. You can sit there, but it is going to be slower. If you have a slight surplus, I like to aim for about you're gaining, 10% or a kilo of body weight a month. And carbs matter to support intensity. Carbs are like wood to a fire. You need to be having those to support your intense sessions in the gym. They are not the fucking enemy. And if you say to me that you don't have carbs because of like that, you're scared to have them at night because of that 6 o'clock thing, there's nothing I can say to you. Again, food first, no stimulus, no change. That's what we want to be not focusing on. It's not your diet. We want to be focusing on training hard first. The food supports that. That equals growth. So now what? What do we do? Actionable summary here. Track your lifts. Create it in a logbook. Follow an app. Okay, we have an app on Grounded Strength. It's very easy for athletes to follow and punch in the weights and they see their weekly progression right in front of them week to week and they know what weights to beat. They know what reps to beat. And guess what? Their warm-ups, their old warm-ups are just nothing now. They've beaten all their personal bests and their personal bests have become warm-ups. This is the power of tracking your lifts. You know you're getting stronger. If you are getting stronger, you are building muscle. Push your sets harder, especially compound lifts. Bigger the lift, the more fiber recruitment equals more muscle. I love the T-bar, chest supported T-bar row. I think it is the best back builder of all time. You can go fucking bananas on that machine and nothing bad's going to happen to you. If you don't have something like that available and you have to use bent over rows and all that sort of stuff, still push yourself, but you do not need to push yourself to complete and utter failure on those movements. Just close. Train with a program that fits into your life, not the other way around. There's no point following CBum's 6-day-a-week program if you have 3 kids, wife in your ear, and all these other things. You need to work out exactly what is the amount of stimulus that you can have. At the very minimum, it should be 3 days. A push-pull legs is fantastic for that. But that needs to fit into your life because if it fits into your life, you're going to be able to train it at a high intensity consistently enough to be building muscle. And then finally, eat to fuel performance, not for fitness anxiety or trying to get a 6-pack or all these other things. Fuel your performance in the gym. You want to be leveling up your lifts every single time, so eat to support that. And here's a quick checklist here. Your logbook moves, top sets are tracked and progressing, protein is consistent, food supports your output, and recovery is happening. Very, very simple. So if you haven't built a rig yet, stop acting like your physique will change from eating chicken and rice. How dare you think that it is that simple? The hardest thing is training. Nutrition is very easy. Once you have that set up with a training routine, it is so easy to get your nutrition dialed. But that cannot happen, and it's not going to support anything if you're training like a bag of fucking melted ice cream. The muscle you want is built in the gym under heavy loads with effort over time. I've been training for 15 fucking years. I am nowhere near where I think I should be. But I keep showing up, I keep putting effort in, I keep fucking growling and grunting at the weight and urging it to fucking move on because I want better for myself. The next step, diet is a weapon, but only in the hands of someone who is actually training to look like they train. If you're happy to sit at maintenance and just be sort of, skinny fat for the rest of your life, fantastic. Awesome, power to you. But this video shouldn't be for you. This video is for guys who are so fucking frustrated at how small and insignificant they feel in the gym that they want to better themselves. This is the answer. Training. I hope that's enabled you to think about your training a little bit more and maybe take a step back and go, okay, have my lifts been moving? I've been so in my head about protein and stuff. Maybe I'll just take a step back from that and actually zoom in on my training. Have a look at the logbook. Has it moved? How long ago did you bench 100 kilos? Can you even bench 100 kilos? Because if you can't bench 100 kilos, that is victim weight. You can't even push a healthy male off you or pull him off your family. You're not strong enough. That's fucking pathetic. So if your training's flatlined and you're still fixing your diet, maybe it's time to fix what you're doing in the gym first. If you want help setting that up, I've got spots open. Message me on Instagram. Tell me what's going on with the lifts. Why doesn't it feel like anything's progressing? And I can tell you right now, within the first month of working with me, your lifts will progress and your physique will have transformed before your eyes. I hope you got some value out of today's video. It really does help myself and my wife out with a small business if you do like and subscribe. So again, thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to putting out another video like this next week.